gets to a certain level where I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Like financial market stuff. Like when people are pulling stock schemes and pumping dumps and things like that, yeah, that's different.
That's different.
That's different. Then you're actually getting
no, I'm not talking
intelligent
about those.
people,
Yeah.
like Bernie Madoff.
Right. No.
You're actually getting intelligent people.
That fucking rob you.
Yeah, they just trusted you. and
I'm
they
talking
thought-
about like when an African sends you a text message and
Yeah.
says, fucking come bail me out. If
Yeah.
you send me 500, you're going to inherit $80 million.
Yeah.
You know how many people get, every year 60 Minutes has an expose
Yes.
about some African that's taking money from people, and they keep doing it. It's
Speaking
like
of which, I should probably bring this up. There's a lot of people that are getting emails from a scammer saying that they're being invited onto this podcast.
yes, they are.
Yeah.
A dear friend of mine keeps asking me, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah, hundreds of people. I don't know how many people have been contacted. And it's more than one account that's doing it. And I think it's some sort of a scam to get your Facebook information or some sort of information or credit card information or something. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. We will never ask you for anything like that. And if we contact you, it'll be obvious. It's obvious also that whoever the person is writing these things, at least in the ones that have been sent to me, it seems like English is their second language. They don't seem to know exactly how to phrase things in a way that an American would phrase things. So it seemed a little obvious to me that it was shifty and a lot of obvious to a lot of other people, but a bunch of people sent them to me.
Okay, yeah, because I had one I was going to show you. I think I erased it. He sent it to me yesterday. And he was like, yeah, ask him. They keep sending me these things from the Joe Rogan Experience. He doesn't know.
Yeah, it's just scammers. You know, they reach out to you through Instagram or, you know, they find out you follow me or maybe I talked about you on the podcast or maybe something like that. And then next thing you know, you get a letter. Yeah.
You know,
There's scammers out there, man. I mean, the Nigerians are the best at it. I mean,
that's where it was invented. They're the best at it. They are the best.
When did they first start email scamming people? Probably right after email got invented. Like
I don't know.
When was the first Nigerian prince email scams? Because it's always like, I have all this money, but I need like $1,000
to get it out.
If you help me get it out,
Yeah.
you get 10 million.
I can't get mad at you for something like
Right,
that. Because
right.
you look at that and you giggle. You look at that and you giggle. Any of that stuff online, you have to look at. I don't press nothing online. If you send me a Facebook message and I click on something, I don't click. I don't touch it.
Good.
I don't open it. When that shit starts happening, when things start popping up, that's when I turn off the computer.
Yeah.
I hit a button that I should not hit.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I don't go into any of those things.
Yeah.
Even friends of mine that send me shit, I'm busy.
Yeah.
You know, if you're
That's smart. Yeah.
They used to do this by letter.
Really?
It's not, I mean, this is not a.
When did it start?
The 1900s.
1910.
Early 1900s.
Wow. The Nigerians started in the 1900s?
I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't. say it was them.
1910?
Yeah.
The origins of the Nigerian prince scam date back to 1910 when it went by another name, the Spanish prisoner swindle. Oh, back then victims received a message as a letter in the mail rather than on the internet, but the same basic structure between the two scams between both scams remain the same. The Spanish prisoner swindle centers around a wealthy foreign nobleman who is imprisoned for political reasons. The nobleman claims to know the location of a lost treasure and that he's willing to share this treasure with the victim. The problem is he's in prison and needs the victim to send him money so he can bribe his way out. Wow. Interesting. There's always been people like that. But you know what the problem is? The problem is there are people in this country. What was the number that we Googled that have an IQ lower than 85? It's pretty high.
Like 15%.
15%. So imagine 15% of people that you could basically trick with anything. Get them to join a cult. Get them to sign up for some kind of telemarketing swindle.
Do you think it's IQ or do you think it's...
IQ is interesting, right? Because IQ doesn't necessarily mean intelligence because it depends upon your education. Because some of the questions in IQ tests are predicated on a knowledge of math and understanding of like how to do equations and certain things that you learn in school. But there's intelligence that is social intelligence, intelligence in terms of being able to see what the problems are in a certain choice you make, or what the up benefits are of a different choice. There's people that are strategizers and they're really good at like business. They're really good at figuring people out. They're really good at figuring themselves out. There's an intelligence to that. So the problem with IQ, in my mind, is I know a lot of people with very high IQs, but their life is a clumsy mess. So it's like it really is dependent upon what is the mental horsepower you have and how are you applying that mental horsepower. Are you Gary Clark Jr. and applying that mental horsepower to music and you're a genius, but you're a genius in music? Or are you Lex Friedman and you're making, artificial intelligence and coding robots? Are you Elon Musk? You're making spaceships. Like, what are you doing with this intelligence? So IQ, there's limitations of it, but at least it's an indicator of how smart a person is. It's an indicator. It's not the only indicator. There's other factors that I think are much more intangible. They're much harder to measure and weigh. That's my take on it. I think it means something. But some people they don't have a good brain. They just don't. So those guys, they get that Nigerian prince email, they're like, this is it. This is my ticket out of here. They start scraping up coins, putting quarters in rolls, bringing them to the bank.